All right, we'll begin. Again, my name is Eric Schneider. I'm the Director of Business Development here at Straight Up Solar. I'm joined by Shannon Fulton, our Vice President of Development at Straight Up Solar. And I want to thank you for joining us for Solar 101 for Illinois homeowners. This is our second one of our Solar 101 series. Last month, we did a Solar 101 for Missouri homeowners, and all these webinars are housed on our Straight Up Solar YouTube page. So again, thank you very much for taking time out. I hope you had a nice sunny day, and hopefully you'll have some calm weather tonight. I know here in St. Louis, the wind's blowing pretty heavy and looks pretty ominous out there. So Solar 101 for homeowners, let's begin. Again, my name is Eric Schneider. I'm the Director of Business Development. I'm proud to be part of a marketing team that includes myself and two other women, and Shannon Fulton, who oversees our department as Vice President of Development. I'm really excited to be part of a department that helps inspire people to go solar. And I also serve on the board of directors for the Missouri Solar Energy Industry Association here. I've been with the company for 5 years. We're really excited to work with someone like Shannon, who's been with the company now for 11 years. And she leads the business development and marketing advocacy and leads our Central Illinois office operations in Bloomington. We have an office in downtown Bloomington and 2 installation crews and 1 service team headquartered out of Bloomington here. She is board vice president for the Illinois Solar Energy and Storage Association, and she's also on the board of the Parklands Foundation. Shannon is a proud alumnus of Illinois State University and has a huge background in science, whether it's geology, geohydrology, renewable energy. She also does a lot of planting. So basically any question on anything on the earth, I can ask Shannon and she has an answer for. And you can drop those in the chat too if you're bored with solar. Shannon will answer any questions on geology or geography, I think, too. A little bit about Straight Up Solar. We were founded in 2006 by an orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Dane Glick, who was doing his residency in Western Kentucky. And while he was doing his residency there, he was very much concerned about the mountaintop removal and what that was doing to the community and to the patients he was serving here, whether it was the coal miners who had the black lungs disease that he was seeing in his clinic, or just people breathing in the air in Western Kentucky. So when Dane finished his residency and moved to St. Louis, he wanted to do something to extend the notion of caring beyond his medical practice into the community, and he got involved in Straight Up Solar. He got involved in solar energy, started the company Straight Up Solar with basically the house on his array. He became the first certified NABCEP installer. NABCEP stands for the North American Board of Certified Energy Professionals. He became the first certified NABCEP installer in Missouri, put a solar array on his house. The neighbors thought that was pretty cool. Got a couple guys in the truck. And before you know it, now 18 years later, we've grown the company to 2,800 installations across Illinois and Missouri. We have, again, an office in Bloomington where Shannon's at. I'm here in the St. Louis headquarters, which is in Maryland Heights. We also have an office in Marion, Illinois. We've done 54 megawatts to date. We do residential, commercial, and industrial properties here, but we also do add-ons like battery storage, smart panels, EV charging, and we're really proud to be backed by one of the only service and maintenance divisions for a solar company in Illinois and Missouri here. So we back up what we install. We have 120 employees, about 50% have NABCEP certification. And for a small company, we're part of 2 great national groups here. We're part of the Amicus Solar Cooperative, which allows us to group buy and group purchase panels at a lower cost than we could if we were just a small company, and allows us to share best practices here. I'm also proud, and I put it on my sleeve here today, that we're a certified B Corporation here, which means that we are caring about our customers, our workers, our suppliers, and making sure that we have a low carbon footprint when we're serving all those entities and stakeholders here. So every day we strive to make our business the best it can be for people and planet. So I encourage you to shop for certified B corporations. Examples are like Patagonia and Ben & Jerry's, King Arthur's Flour, New Belgium Brewery. We're really proud to be a group of about 6,000 companies all across the world who, again, are putting people and planet in their forefront of all their decision-making in their operations here. We're going for our recertification this year, as a matter of fact. I want to make sure I go over our values, because as a customer, a Straight Up Solar customer, we challenge you to make sure that we are adhering to all our values here today. Caring for the community, lead the energy transition, educate everyone, advocate with a purpose, respect people and planet, and embody excellence. So again, the couple of these values are what we're doing today. We hope this is a very educational, seminar here, and we hope it's an excellent presentation here. If not, please tell us so we can improve these performances and education seminars throughout the community here. Today's topic, we're going to talk about how solar energy works, the benefits of going solar, the ideal home layout, designing your solar PV system, solar PV system add-ons, financial incentives, the 5 steps to go solar, and then a question and answer session. So again, keep dropping those questions in the chat. I see we already have 2 to begin with, and we will answer them at the end of this presentation here. So let's get started on how solar energy works here. Pretty simple concept here, no moving parts. The sun shines down on your solar panels, and when the sun hits the panels, it excites electrons. Those electrons start moving around inside the wires in the panels. And as it moves down the wires, it moves into an inverter. The inverter flips the energy. So when the sun is exciting all those electrons in your panels, that's creating a direct current electricity here, flows down to the inverter and flips the electricity from direct current to alternating current. That alternating current is the current that uses in your house, and that's the electricity that can be used in your service panel here. So what happens is the energy goes first into your solar panel, the electricity goes in your solar panel, it serves the electricity in your house first, then any excess electricity goes out to the meter and then onto the grid. That exchange of excess electricity is called net metering, which we will get into a little later about how your utility credits you for net metering here. So pretty simple process. Sun shines, flips direct current to alternating current. You use the energy first. Any excess energy goes out into the grid. Here's how solar panels are made. They're made out of silicon, and there are 3 types of solar cells. So a solar panel will be made of 60 solar cells or 72 solar cells here. They're called interchangeably, they're called modules or panels. The type of solar panels that we use are monocrystalline, which means that they're cut from 1 block of silicon here. Some of the lower producing ones are poly, where you kind of merge all the cells together. Thin film, an example you might have heard of Tesla solar shingles, the ones that are built in photovoltaic that you can kind of put on top of a shingle. Those are a little less efficient than what we use in terms of monocrystalline solar panels here. The solar panels are put inside of glass and then framed around metal here. So there's no leaking. It's all one system that we can get put on your roof. A solar panel is about 3.5 feet by 5 feet, and they weigh maybe 30 to 40 pounds here. They are strong. Solar panels can withstand a hailstorm, a 1-inch hail ball, I should say, going at 50 miles an hour here. So in most cases, our hailstorms are a little less than that, but we do offer service and remove and replace if a hail does damage your solar array. Snow is not a problem at all for solar systems. Your roof tends to be slanted, and even our ground mounts are slanted. The snow melts right off of the solar system as it heats up here. And you could also, do a little hand swipe them off if you're using a ground mount, but don't do anything that's unsafe. Don't go on a ladder, don't clean them off. A seasonal rain tends to clean them off. Even with all the pollen out there today, a heavy rain will clean off all that pollen here. So there's really no need for cleaning a panel or even worrying about the snow. Some of the benefits our customers have seen from going solar is a protection against rising energy costs. Once you put that solar system on and you pay for it, you get something called a levelized cost of energy, which means your energy is flat for what goes into your house. Energy independence, everything we install is tied to the grid unless you put a battery backup on, but it still gives you that energy independence, is that you're not dependent on the utility raising their rates over and over again. Again, you've bought the system, you've locked in your energy consumption, and that's kind of what you're paying for now per kilowatt hour. And then environmental motivation, you're definitely doing a great service to our community by transitioning to a clean energy solution. And also distributive energy, you're requiring less usage on the utility grid here. So those are 3 pretty good benefits of why people go solar here. Let's talk about the ideal solar layout here. Excuse me, blow my nose here. The first thing we look for when we're designing a solar system is the age and type of roof. We like to install solar on a system roof that is less than 5 years old. Solar panels last between 25 and 30 years. So you really want to have a young roof so you can maximize the life of your solar system. You don't really want to be putting on a new roof, having us come out and remove our solar system and then replace it. That just adds cost and reduces the value of your solar system here. We do install on metal roofs, on TPO membrane roofs, flat roofs, and shingles. We do not install on slate, cedar, or tile roofs, which are pretty rare here in the Midwest. Most people do have general asphalt shingles. Slope and height of the roof is something we're going to consider because that really depends on the slope is going to depend, affect how much energy you're going to generate. We also want to keep our crews safe. So a very steep roof is going to be a little harder to install on, but we do install pretty much between up to 30, 40 degree angles on our roof here. You need a good solar window. South is ideal. This map here is from Google Sunroof. And if you ever are interested in checking your neighbor out, go to Project Sunroof from Google. It'll pull up a map of this in your neighborhood. The light yellow, the very lightest yellow is the best solar shining on the home here, the best solar window for your home here. So south is ideal, and east and west work. We'll install solar panels on that, but it'll reduce the production by 15%. We do not install solar panels, solar modules on north-facing roofs here. Just not enough production. Usually it cuts production by 50%. We're going to look at shading. When you get a proposal, we're going to look at where the trees are in your backyard or your front yard and how that goes over the course of the winter time. We have something called a solar eye that can figure out the energy projection for each month of the year, where that shading is going to impact your solar array energy production. Multiple PV array, if you have one flat roof or one large segment of roof, that's called one array. If you wanted to do an array and then put another system on your garage, that's called two arrays. That requires a little more complexity of electrical connections. So all that goes into your proposal. All that goes into how we view if you're a good fit for solar. And finally, before we get started, we like to check your municipal and utility regulations, making sure that we design the system with the proper setbacks on your roof, and making sure your homeowners association does not have any rules that prohibit the placement of solar on one side of your house or another. Both Missouri and Illinois law have solar property rights, which stop homeowner associations from outright banning solar, but homeowner associations do have the right to regulate place and look of the solar system. So let's talk a little more about designing your system, but I first want to go over a key term. This is a Solar 101, so you need to have your definitions before you graduate to Solar 202. A kilowatt is a measurement of capacity of how big your array is. So when the solar terminology, we say I have a 10 kW array, a kilowatt is the greatest amount of power at a specific point of time. But you really are talking about what's that power over a unit of measurement. For instance, on your electricity bill, how much energy am I using over an hour? That's called a kilowatt hour, a unit of energy used or produced. And that's what shows up on your bill. So an example is my home used more kilowatt hours of electricity this month than last month. Another example is the average American home uses 11,000 kilowatt hours of electricity in the course of a year. So again, your energy bill is going to show up on kilowatts. So here's an example of energy use that appears on your bill. Each of these numbers here are kilowatt hours. So you can see from this chart here, in July, this house had 1,453 kilowatt hours of energy consumed from their electric utility. So we want to have this conversation with you. Our project developers will ask you, how much energy do you use each month in the course of a year? How much energy do you want to offset? 70%, 100%. In Illinois, you can actually go over 100% of your energy generation. But again, the more you go over 100%, there becomes maybe perhaps not a good cost benefit analysis. How long do you plan on to stay in your house? I talked about roof longevity. Obviously, you want to know how long you want to stay in your house to get the full value of that solar array. Do you plan to add an EV charger or another large electrical appliance? So again, that might go to overproducing on your house currently. Maybe you are going to offset 110% because you're going to add that EV charger that's going to consume energy. And then does the utility limit energy generation? In most cases in Illinois, the investor utilities do not. Check with your co-ops. Your co-ops might have their own utility limit generation requirements here. So we'll talk about your energy goals, and then we'll come up with a proposal here. A specific proposal will match up the right equipment for your home. This is an example of a page of our proposal, what we show in our photovoltaic system details and layout here. We'll show you the brand name of the panels. In this example here, we're showing a house that has 28 REC, that's the brand, REC 410, that's the wattage, 410 pure watts. So again, this is a brand name REC 410 watts. We're using microinverters, 28 microinverters, IQ8 by the brand Enphase. And with that, this system creates a 11.5 kilowatt system of direct current. That's the highest power at the peak moment. But that translates into electricity to your house at 9.8 kilowatts at peak usage here. We're able to calculate based on the orientation of the home, what the yield is for kilowatt hours for kilowatt DC. And then with all these statistics kind of flow down here of how much energy you're going to produce before and after, and how much savings you're having. So this is the conversation you want to have with your project developer. How much energy I'm going to generate based on the orientation and the size of my modules, how much electricity I'm going to consume, how much my energy is going to be generated from my solar system, what's the difference, and then how much savings I'm going to have from year 1 to year 30 and over the course of that, and then how the panels degrade over time. Our panels degrade very slowly. For instance, over 10 years, you'll get 92% of your energy compared to day 1 of the installation here. So very small decline in energy production. And by and large, it really doesn't affect your production during the peak months of April to October here. We're going to get more into net metering, what net metering means, but in the months of March to October, and today's a great day here in St. Louis, if you're working, you're out of the house, you're probably going to be absorbing more power from the sun, or more energy from the sun. Your system's going to be converting it into electricity than you consume. And so you're going to be sending energy back to the grid, electricity back to the grid, and you're going to get credits for that from your utility, and that's called net metering. Those credits can be used for nighttime generation. So when the sun goes down, everything that you produce during the daytime, you'll get credit for using at night, kind of similar to rollover minutes. And what Ameren, Illinois does is it resets these credits annually. So the benefit here living in Illinois is that as you're generating a lot of minutes, a lot of credits during July and August and June and May, you can start using those in November and October and December and really almost get 100% offset of all your electricity bill in Illinois. It's a very great bonus here for net metering. And Shannon will get more into details about the policy of net metering and how that's changing for 2025. Why this is a great year to go solar with the net metering laws. Let's talk a little about solar system add-in. So what I've talked about previously is how we design a system that attaches to the grid. You might want to get full control over your system, whether it's understanding all your electric circuits that you can do at the touch of a button from your smartphone, or maybe you want battery storage, or maybe you want an EV charger. We can integrate all these components at Straight Up Solar. Again, we're a full design, build, procurement, installation, engineering firm here. We're really proud to have that one-stop seamless capacity to provide a great solar energy solution to you. Here's an example of a battery storage system from Tesla Powerwall here. We can talk about doing a whole home backup or an essential load backup here, where we isolate the circuits in your electrical panel on which ones you want to keep operating in the event of a power outage. For instance, maybe you just want to keep the furnace or the air conditioning going, the refrigerator going, a couple outlets for your computers. That would only require 1 battery, as opposed to a whole house solution, which would probably require 2 or 3 batteries. Because batteries, by and large, they are pretty expensive here. They run at starting between $20,000 and $35,000 here. They have an energy capacity of 13.5 kilowatts for 1 Tesla battery with 5 kilowatts of backup power. They could be floor mounted or wall mounted here. And again, you can do all these in combinations to back up all the energy in your home or just certain circuits here. Now, I'm giving you examples of prices here, but all homes are different and pricing and battery compatibility may vary for your situation. But I just wanted to give you a general sense of what batteries we offer and their general cost. So this is a great solution, the Tesla Powerwall. We also offer a flexible solution from Enphase, the Enphase Exchange, which allows you to do kind of smaller increments of kilowatt hour batteries here at 3.3 kilowatt hours. So if you don't want to start with that huge 13 kilowatt hour system from Tesla. You can start with the Enphase one and keep building up inside the cabinet here. They have a warranty for 10 years, and you can combine kind of 4 to 10 kW to cover all the energy needs for your house here. And that's going to run about the same price, $20,000 to $40,000. So that's battery storage, because I wanted to emphasize that, because every system we build is tied to the grid here. So if the power's out, you're out. Your only reason you're going to be able to stay with electricity is if you purchase one of these battery storage systems here. Another pretty good solution that ties well with battery storage is a smart panel. This is an electrical panel upgrade that we provide here that allows you to identify specific circuits in your house, so you can decide which loads you want to keep on, which loads you want to keep off, and play around with that. It's really good if you have kids in the house and you're tired of them playing video games. You can just hit your phone and turn off the circuit, and now that they're going to come down for dinner. So this is, again, a really good energy efficiency option. Even if you don't go with a battery, it reduces the amount of energy that your house needs. If you do have a battery, SPAN is saying that you have a 40% longer battery duration when paired with SPAN. So again, this is called an electric panel upgrade that we offer. We do offer electric vehicle chargers. This is a charger that we have actually right here in the office in Maryland Heights, but we do home installations with your solar system. We can do pedestal ones. We can do ones tied right on your wall in your garage here. It will tie directly to your home electrical panel with a dedicated circuit breaker. We do level 2 chargers. We do not do fast chargers, but a level 2 charger is pretty effective. It will charge 10 to 20 miles per hour of charging. So overnight, it'll pretty much charge your battery. If you're completely empty, going from 20% to 80%. The electric vehicle charger, it does have a tax credit for residential use. However, you must be in an income eligible district or a rural community. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a tax attorney. Shannon's not a tax attorney. So please consult your tax advisor and the IRS for the full applicability of your tax credit here. So now I'm going to turn it over to Shannon, and she'll get right into talking about tax credits and other financial incentives that are available for homeowners in Illinois.
Thanks, Eric. I don't see any questions in the chat yet, so everybody seems to be following along quite well. We certainly will have time to answer questions, so feel free to enter them into the chat. Okay. Next slide. All right, so starting off with the federal incentives. So the federal incentives are tax credit based. So this type of a solar incentive, it has been around for a long time. I think since 2007, I believe. So it's been around a long time. It's been one of the primary drivers for the growth of solar development and installation across the country. And it's currently, thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, at 30% federal investment tax credit. So this includes, the basis of that 30% credit includes all labor costs, equipment costs, installation, permitting, everything associated with the installation of your solar system. When it comes to the roof structure, it can include also any roof reinforcements that might be needed, but it does not, you cannot include the cost to reshingle your roof in that basis that the 30% tax credit is based on. There's no maximum amount of credit. If you take the federal tax credit on one home where you install solar, and then you happen to move and install solar on your new home, you can monetize that tax credit again. There's no limit to the amount of tax credit that's available. But what does limit you is the amount of tax liability that you have. So compare your estimated tax liability with what 30% of the cost of your solar system is, and ensure that you can monetize that full credit. The IRS allows you to monetize that over the course of 2 years. So there is time where you can roll over additional credit if you don't have the full tax liability to leverage in that first year. Next. On a state level, Illinois, it probably has some of the best solar incentives in the entire country right now. And that's what's driving all the solar that you see around you. It's the state level incentives that are layered onto the federal level incentives that make it a very compelling case for going solar. So the main mechanism for Illinois to get to its renewable portfolio standard is through the purchase of renewable energy credits from individuals and municipalities and schools and churches and all of these different entities that are going solar. They're getting a monetary compensation for the renewable energy credits that their systems produce. And one renewable energy credit is equivalent to 1,000 kilowatt hours of solar electricity produced by a system that's interconnected behind a meter that serves an on-site property. So individuals are getting paid for the environmental benefits associated with the solar that they're installing. And then that's the mechanism that the state is using to accumulate the environmental benefits associated with individuals installing solar. And so this is sort of a collective state level effort to elevate the entire state to a renewable portfolio standard of 40% renewable energy by 2030. That's our current goal. And this monetary compensation is helping us get there, but it's through the payment of individual homeowners and businesses that actually go solar. Next. So when you combine the incentives, you can see that the compelling case is there. It's financially. The SREC payments, or the Solar Renewable Energy Credit payments through the Illinois Shines program, make up approximately, it will vary by system size, but it make up approximately up to 30% of the cost of the system. And then you tack on the 30% federal tax credit that you can monetize. And that leaves just 40% of the cost, of the net cost that's owed by the homeowner, for example, after the incentives are monetized. One of the other things we wanted to point out in this webinar today, because of the timeliness of the topic, is that one of the main that we haven't talked about really, it's kind of an incentive. It helps to hasten the payback of these investments, this net metering concept that Eric briefed earlier. There's monetary value in that. And the policy for net metering in Commonwealth Edison and in Ameren utility territories is changing. And we have, luckily in Illinois, we do have a date certain for that. And that date is, as of January 1, 2025, the value of a credit of a kilowatt hour of solar electricity that's exported to the grid will be changing in value. So to explain, to give some context on what we mean by the value of the credit and how this is changing, I'm going to show you an example of an energy bill from an Ameren, Illinois customer who has solar. And this bill is shown on Ameren's website. There's a link there that Eric has shared in the chat that you can go to and look at this more closely. But basically, the current net metering process involves the credits that are applied to the bill to reduce the cost of the bill in both the electric delivery and the electric supply sections of the bill. So we refer to that as full retail net metering. It offsets the full kilowatt hour cost of a unit of electricity, both from an energy delivery and an energy supply side of the bill. And the next slide shows how that will be changing as of January 1st, 2025. And the bottom line is that customers will no longer receive the kilowatt hour credits on the delivery side of the bill. You'll still see the credits on the energy supply section of the bill, but that's the only credit section, or that's the only crediting compensation that customers will receive. So what this means for individuals who already have operating systems, this means that their current net metering compensation plan won't change. They will be legacied in their current compensation plan for the next 30 years of their system operation. What it means for individuals who energize by in December, for example, at the latest, we don't want to push it all the way to December 31st because there will be quite a bit of probably pipeline for Ameren and ComEd to work through. But for people who get energized before that deadline of January 1st, they will also be legacied in the current full retail net metering compensation structure. But for anybody who energizes after that date, they will get the energy supply only credits. Next slide. And there are additional, currently, even with full retail net metering, currently there are additional rebates, cash rebates that are available from Ameren and ComEd in Illinois. And those are for energy storage systems and also for smart inverters, which it's also, that one's also referred to as the DG, distributed generation rebate. Those are available currently. And you can see on the slide here the value. But what's important to know is if a customer applies for the DG rebate, the net metering structure, the net metering plan and compensation reverts to the energy supply only compensation plan. And what will happen going forward after January 1 of 2025, customers will be able to still be able to apply for that DG rebate to help offset the cost of the loss of the net metering crediting on the delivery side. So there's some compensation there to help offset the cost. However, the long-term best financial case for a customer is to try to get full retail net metering, because you can lock that in for the long term and protect yourself from rising energy costs more completely than only being able to control your supply costs. So I'll hand it back to Eric to talk to you about the process of getting a proposal and choosing a solar company. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks for that overview of the financial incentives. And again, we will be sending out this video recording to everybody who registered, so you can review that more closely and then check on those links about how to review your net metering bill, and check out our seminar that Shannon also did that really dove into the examples of the net metering currently and how net metering will change in 2025 and what that means to your solar proposal. So I encourage you to take a look at that. So thanks, Shannon, for being part of this webinar here. So we'll close here about what you should do in looking for a solar company. What makes Straight Up Solar a trusted company? Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully we gave you a good sense of the values of Straight Up Solar and the knowledge and the expertise of people like Shannon in our company. We can customize your array to meet your vision and expectations. We have a variety of different ways we can address aesthetics in terms of black on black panels that flow really well into your roof here, making sure we have critter guard or a snow shield that protects the edges of your solar system, and making sure that birds and squirrels don't eat the wires here. We are an EPC, which means we're a turnkey provider, which means we have one project manager that will walk you through, tell you when your installers are going to come, when your permits have been approved, when your design has been given, and then all the way through when you've been energized and have that bi-directional meter installed by Ameren Illinois at your house. So this turnkey project management is what we think makes Straight Up Solar unique in the marketplace here. Again, our 50% of our employees are NABCEP certified here, and we'll provide you with an owner guide that will show you how your system has been commissioned, and we'll do a final walkthrough with you, make sure you are comfortable with your solar system. We don't want to just install it and leave it to you to figure out how all the wires work and what to turn on and turn off here. And that's why we have a service department with warranties, a 10-year workmanship warranty, a 10-year production warranty. Our product warranties have 25 years of warranties behind the panels. The inverters and batteries range between 10 and 12 years here. So again, when you're talking to any solar company, ask them about their warranties, ask them about how they're going to walk you through the installation, from giving you a proposal all the way to making sure you have permission to operate from your utility. There's a lot that goes in to installing solar on your home, and I'm really proud to work with a company at Straight Up Solar that can provide that entire turnkey solution for our homeowners here. And here's a picture of our happy homeowners doing our solar smile here with their hands outstretched, capturing the power of the sun here. We're really proud again to have homeowners all across Eastern Missouri, Southern Illinois, Central Illinois, and Northern Illinois who have transitioned to clean energy, and they've made the brighter choice to uplift their energy. Again, I'll just recap the 5 steps to go solar and how easy it is. You can get started here today if we have any people who are just getting started on their solar journey. Shannon will drop in the chat a way you can just sign on for Get a Quote. We'll get you started here with our solar support specialist. We'll start you through the process, turn in your utility bill, look at your roof, get your address going. If you're still interested in solar, you kind of have the right orientation, we'll set you up with a project developer to get you a customized proposal that we showed you. It showed you exactly how much you're going to offset, the exact type of inverter, the exact type of solar panels that will be part of your system. If that proposal meets your needs, meets your price needs, meets your long-term investment needs for your house, we'll put you through steps 3 through 5, which is our project management stage here. Again, you'll be assigned a single project manager who will do an engineered design, make sure everything is appropriate for your city or your county or your building inspector, make sure the permits are approved. And then once everything gets notified that we're clear to go, you'll be on the calendar and our crew will come out and install and energize. Takes about 2 to 3 days to install a solar system for the average house. Again, our crew is usually about 4 individuals and an electrician. So about 5 people will come on site to your home, work over 2 to 3 days, work inside your basement or your garage, get that electrical panel work, and work on your roof to make sure everything is installed properly. Then after 2 to 3 days, our crew leaves, you'll be substantially complete. Then there's a 30-day waiting period for the utility to install that meter that will, again, bi-directional, will take electricity from the solar array into your house, one direction, out to the grid for excess is the second direction. When you get all that working, you're getting your energy bill, you're looking at, you're saying, oh, geez, now I have a 0 energy charge. You'll be so excited. You'll be the one reaching up to the sun, praising the power of the sun into your house. And again, hopefully spreading the word of why clean energy is a good choice for us, for your home here. And with that, we'll be happy to answer any questions in the chat. We can hold on here. You can contact me. Again, I'm the Director of Business Development at eric.schneider@straightupsolar.com. Shannon's like the Beyonce of our organization, so she only has one name on her email. Just email Shannon@straightupsolar.com. And please visit our website. We have a lot of great webinars, YouTube, and just general information about residential and commercial solar that we install.